Hi friends. So this is not when I normally do videos, and this might get deleted, might get redone, might get posted. I don't actually know. Um but I've had some feelings lately that I thought would go best in a video. So I'm fresh out of the shower and I'm doing something that I've really gotten in the habit of doing. Um it is, I don't even know. Well, it was. Right now I think it's 8:30, but my nightly routine started at about 7:30. Um, so I'm really, before I go into my nighttime routine, I'm really, I've always been someone that hates winter. Um, and I try to make the best of it. I really do. I always get um a winter depression. And the past like 3 years especially, I've tried really hard to not get that winter depression. And I'm doing really well. I'm doing well. um I try to keep myself busy in the wintertime. I try to I really focus on sourdoughs in the wintertime. Um I'm actually hoping for a good snow day because I have this fun plan of what I'm gonna do on our first snow day. Um I start plants, I garden plan, I do like more activities I'm learning how to trying to learn how to make cheese. I want to make my own lotions and soaps and shampoo bars, and I make deodorants, and I take on all these additional activities to learn in the wintertime to keep myself busy. Um, but I can only do so much, especially in the evenings after work. I get home in the evenings, um, probably between 4:45 and 5 normally. And by the time I get dinner ready and I fed all the animals, I'm kind of done the nighttime chores. It's dark outside and it's normally about 7 o'clock. So that's really only 2 hours. That's not a long time. And if it was summertime and it was bright outside, I would say I have 3 more hours to do things. But when it's 7 o'clock and it's dark outside, I don't. Last month and a half, as soon as like 7:15 hits, my dog is ready to come up to bed. This dog that is laying spread out on my bed is ready to come up to bed. And I actually have to normally fight with her to get her to like stay downstairs because she is a dog that, if you see, my foot is right here and she's touching me. She has to be touching me. So she's not a dog that's gonna come up to bed without me. So it's normally like a whole big, like her going upstairs, staying on the stairs, whining, crying, going upstairs, jumping on the bed, crying. It's this whole thing. So probably about a month and a half ago, I started our nighttime routine where we come up at 7:15, I get a shower, I make a cup of tea, and I sit in bed and I read a book. And it has been really nice. I'm not gonna lie. So that's what I'm currently doing. I have the cat at my feet, I have the dog by my side, and I'm reading a book with a cup of tea. It's like 8:30, and it's really nice. And I'm gonna read for a couple, probably 20 more minutes, and then put on TV, watch one more show before bed. So this is my routine, and I really missed it. So I just got back from Atlanta. I was in Atlanta for 8 days, and I really missed this routine. And this is the first night that I've done it. Even though I've been home for 3 nights, this is the first night that we've done our routine. I actually don't really know why, but this is the first night that it happened. And I found myself thinking lately about how I've changed and what I've done to make myself change. So what I mean by that is I was someone that always wanted to travel, and I still do. Like, I desperately want to go to Alaska, I want to go to Europe, I want to do a whole Italy trip. Like, I love to travel. And it used to be when I got my job that I have now, I've always traveled with my work. It's only a handful of times a year. And I always looked so forward to traveling, to going places, to seeing the world. And that desire hasn't left me. However, before I go into what it has changed, let's briefly talk about the desire that I have in my heart. I don't know if this is going to make sense at how I'm saying it, but we're gonna plow through anyway. I I am incredibly heartsick that what I want I don't have. So I don't have a farm, I don't have animals. I know all about chickens, and I know I know all about all the animals, and I desperately want them. I realized it would be hard for one person to do all these things. I also want a family. Like, that's a very real dream. But that's something that God needs to step in here. God needs to help me out with that. But a farm is something that if I work hard enough, I feel like I could make happen, on my own, with God's help, but on my own. That doesn't make any sense, but again, nighttime ramblings. We don't know if this is going to go anywhere or not. But I am sick at the desire in my heart to have this farm. And it's not even just because I want to say I have chickens and I have a goats and it's the things I want to do with this, the things I want to do with my community by having this farm. It's not just a farm that's going to feed me. I want to have this massive garden that can feed the community. I want to have fresh milk that I can give to my friends and family, and I just want to be as organic and clean as possible because it's such a better way to live. So it's not even really, my desire isn't just for me. It's how I want to move forward. I want to have my own store that I can, and this weekend I ended up finding like a wholesale website, and I like made an account, and I'm like saving things on this wholesale website. So I have my own store. I already have a list of things that I'm going to buy for the store that I think like are homesteady and super unique and like make great gifts or make great like household items or whatever. And so I came home from my trip and I'm just so sick at the thought that I'm nowhere close to what I want. This is a dream that has been in my heart for my entire life. I remember driving to school. My dad would drive me to school, and I would sit there the whole way and just pray. Just pray that when I came home, a horse would have found its way into my yard and my parents would let me keep it. Spoiler alert. That never happened. But it didn't stop me from praying. So, with that said, I've never wanted anything more in my entire life than to keep moving forward in this path that I'm on. And again, this is not a path that I've picked for myself. This is not a path I would have ever found myself on. Ever. But when I was in Atlanta, all I kept saying is I want to go home. Like, I had a great time. I'm with people who I adore. And I love our trips. We laugh so much. Like, at the same time, like, I had a great time. But on the other hand, I just wanted to go home. And I realized that even though this isn't the farm that I want, I don't have the farm animals that I want. I don't have the garden size that I want. I'm not growing everything that I want to grow. There's so much more that I know I'm capable of doing. And I'm not maxed out yet. But even with all that, I've created a home that I don't want to leave. I've created a life for me here that I want to travel. I 100% want to travel, but I also 110% do not want to leave my farm. I don't want to be away from it. And I just said farm. It's not a farm. It's a house. It's a house in town. But I don't want to leave. I want to stay here, and I just want to make bread, and I want to start seeds, and I want to be in my garden. And so when I was at this trip, and I'm a trainer, and I did all these trainings and logistics, and I did all these things, and I had to be professional. I had to put on professional clothes and be professional, which I'm not bad at. It doesn't come easy for me at all. But for the most part, I think I'd pass. For the most part. But, all I wanted to do was come home. And it was so funny that when I came home, I wanted my family, I wanted my parents, I wanted my animals. And I wanted sourdough, and I wanted my bandana. I didn't even, but I don't even wear a bandana that often. I wear it here and there. But I wanted the bandana, and I wanted to wear the bandana while I made sourdough, while I walked in the garden, while I was in my house, because I realized that that was me. That's who I am. And I needed to come home from Atlanta where I had to be professional, and I had to wear the suit and tie, and I had to be this person who I no longer am. And I needed to come home and reclaim who I am and what I who I am, I guess. Just I needed to come home and claim who I am. And so I'm laying in bed tonight reading this book that I adore. It's the last book in the Outlander series. If you've read Outlander, let's talk, because I'm obsessed with it. And none of my friends have finished them, and I'm on the last book. But I digress. But it just is, I just feel called lately, past couple days, I just feel called to like talk about it. Like I don't wax poetic. I don't have the words like Jess does at Roots and Refuge, and I'm not somebody who speaks very well and speaks beautifully. But I hope I hope the message that message I'm trying to share is coming across. Like, I haven't made it. I'm not where I want to be. I'm so far away from where I want to be. I'm not even close, and it feels beyond impossible. It feels beyond impossible to ever get to where I want to be. But it's a small little step that I realized that I made, that I've made it. I've created this home where I'm completely and utterly happy here. I have everything I need in this house to make me happy. And while I want all these other things, I want the farm, I want all this stuff, I'm content. And this is my favorite place on earth. There are other beautiful places, and there are so many other sights to see and places to go to, but this is my favorite place, and this is where I want to spend my time. And that just, I don't know, that just hit me. This is probably dumb, but that just hit me. And I thought it needed to be shared. So if this was lame, please just ignore it and go back to your regularly scheduled programming. But yeah. So if I post this, well, we'll see if I post this. See you guys next time when I decide to just start trying to wax poetic and failing.